Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. So today's video I have this eye look for you. Now it's come from the Anastasia Carlibybel palette, which is beautiful. Now I'm always on the back foot with palettes that come out in the States because it obviously takes a while to get to Australia. Sephora in Australia still doesn't have the Carlibybel palette, so I did order that from Beauty Bay, and shipping just takes forever. Now I'm going to go quickly into the palette for you. The colours that I've used today are the dark brown there, a lighter brown, almost a mauve colour, and I've used Jode, which is a purple colour there and almost looks a little bit grey on the lid as well. Now there are some beautiful colours in here, some warm colours, some orange. That one's Chai, which is a really nice warm brown, very light. And you've got a mulberry colour in there as well as a copper, which is gorgeous, and then there is a gold story in here as well. This one down here, which is called Moo, is another gold, so there's two golds next to each other. So some really pretty colours in there, and like I said, a few different colour stories that you can actually do with the palette. So I'll get into the makeup and I'll show you how I did this one. I'm going to prime my eyes using the Anastasia eye primer today. It came as a little sample when I purchased the Carlibybel palette, and I'm going to use the P.Louise brush and just prime all over my eyes. Consistency is a little bit runnier than the P.Louise. Spreads very easily though. The product is very opaque, like the P.Louise. I've really put too much. So I'm just going to use my NARS brush and just pat that off like I ordinarily would do with the P.Louise primer, just to get rid of any excess product. So the first colour I'm going to go into is Boie, which is a cream colour on the end there, a matte colour. And I'm just going to set my eye with that same brush, the NARS brush. I'm looking for blendability today rather than vibrancy. So I'm just patting that on. So the next colour I'm going to go in with is Boie, which is a dark chocolate brown there on the end. It looks a little bit warm in the pan, but it actually goes on quite cool. I'm going to go in with MAC 217 and just on the point of the brush, just patting that colour in first up. Now I've got hooded eyes, so I've got to make sure this shape, when I relax my eyes, just doesn't disappear into a line, which it is at the moment. So I need to round that off just a little. So I'm going to go into Bybel, which is a lighter brown colour there, and I've popped it on that lid there, and you can see it's almost a little bit purpley. And I'm going to go into a Smith brush, which is, I can never remember the number on this brush, 235. And just on the point again, I'm just going to tap that colour in right on the edge of that darker brown. And just following the shape there. And then I'm going to grab my Dose of Colours blending brush with no product on it, and I'm just going to go over the outer edge of that Bybel colour, just with a very light hand right on the edge of that colour. Because I've got small eyes, I don't have a lot of lid space or space from the crease upwards as well, so yeah, I end up blending up right into the eyebrow. And then I'm going to go over that line between the Boie colour and the Bybel colour. I just want to go in, I'm going to go in with my Dose of Colours blending brush, and I just want to pop a little bit more of that Boie onto the outer V here. If you've got wrinkly lids like I do and little blemishes or little bits of skin that aren't meant to be there in your older age, you're never going to get a proper blend. So just be patient and just do the best you can. Like I've got a little scar here that's showing up. I've got tiny little lumps and bumps over here, which just makes a blend really hard. But just do the best you can. We're getting old. Okay, so next up I'm going into Jode, which in the pan looks quite purpley. And I swatched it on my arm the other day and it is quite grey. But it's beautiful. On a Makeup Forever 240. I'm just going to pop that on my lid. That's beautiful. I'm just going to take that Dose of Colours brush and just blend on the edge there. I might take a tiny little bit more of that darker colour. Now I want to see a little bit more of that dark over the top or at that line of demarcation there where I put the Jode in. So I'm going to go back in with Boie, and this is an E21 from Sigma, and I'm just going to go right across the top of that. Okay, so I went ahead and did the rest of my makeup, and I did put some lashes on and some Huda Beauty black eyeliner. I've got it everywhere. So I'm going to go in with a smudge brush and that colour Boie, which was the darker brown, and I just want to go along underneath that eyeliner that I've already smudged. Smudge it out a little bit more. And then I'm going back into Bybel on a matte 221. So that's the lighter brown, and just pop that underneath and just smudge it out even more. And then lastly for my eyes, I'm going to go into Boli, which is a nice champagne colour, and on a Sigma pencil brush, and I'm just going to pop a tiny little bit of that just right in the corner. And my eyes have started to water, this one in particular on the corner, which drives me insane and actually takes off eyeshadow. It actually catches in a wrinkle and the crease of my eye and goes upwards and takes off eyeshadow off my lid. So I'm going to go in with lipstick. This is a little sample that came with that palette as well. It's a lip gloss and it is called Saint Tropez. That's a purpley colour. Don't know if I really like that colour. I may change it. I ordered at the same time as the Carlibybel palette the Dewy set, which I wanted to try. Try and get rid of my hair and cover my eyes. Ooh. Not as fine a mist as I would like. Smells like coconuts. Just gonna let that dry. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video. I do like the palette. The Dewy set I really don't think did anything to my face at all with regard to adding some dewiness. And the spray was just a little bit too harsh for me. I really like a very, very fine mist. Palette I do love. Like I said in the intro, there are a few different colour stories that you can do with this palette, which is great. Now this is the first actual palette from Anastasia that I've bought. I haven't really been interested in any of the others that have come out. I do have a fair few of her singles which I put in a Z palette. So I do like her formula and I do like this. So if you liked my video today, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Click on the notifications bell so you're notified when I upload another video, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.